DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good afternoon, good evening, and hello to everyone tuning in today to INCRadio San Francisco. I am Sister Jill Navasca, and welcome. Today we have a really awesome topic to discuss, and I think everyone will benefit and get something out of it, I hope, especially because we have a great group of panelists this today. I want to say this morning because we're in San Francisco, but I know if you're listening anywhere else, it will not be a morning show for you. But before we get into this topic of, let's hold on to it. Let's hold on to this topic. I want to get to our speakers that's joining us today. So why don't we go with our regulars first, and then our special guest this morning. How about let's go with the sisters first.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Jill. I'm excited to hear everyone and to discuss this topic that we'll be getting to today. It'll be a lot of fun, and I'm here ready to learn. That's for sure. But I'll go ahead before we say our topic. I'll pass it to Brother Vince.
Hi, Brother Vince. It's nice to see everyone once again here on INCRadio San Francisco. The topic is really, really nice. It's not just for it's not just for adults, it's not just for kids, it's for everyone who are, trying to work on this particular topic in their lives. So it's very, very nice. I can't wait. And I'm going to have Sister Jill actually introduce this topic because she's very eager and I can see her smiling. So,
all right. So let me get to the topic, and then we'll get to our special guest who will give us some really great inspiration to work on this for all of us, not just I think it's for everybody, and that's what's great about this, is because you can start at any time. Anyway, for today's topic, we have maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and I think I want to go ahead and pass it on and introduce our special guest who will give us some more insights on this topic. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I am Sister Melissa. And yes, I am an exercise specialist, personal trainer, and group fitness instructor. So this is going to be a very fun topic to discuss with everyone today. So happy listening to everyone joined in.
Awesome. So awesome. So before we get to this very important topic, and I think a very helpful for all ages, I just wanted to let you know there are several ways to tune in and keep up with church media. First up, we have YouTube at INCRadio DZEM 954. We have some social media. That's Iglesianicristo News and Updates on Facebook, on Instagram at INC News and Updates. And last but not least, we have it on Twitter or X, INC News Media _updates. All right. Now, here, I think before we get into it, we can go ahead and I know we have so many questions for Sister Melissa. That's for sure. We want to get to all of it, but before we get to that, we will have a short station break.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Want to exercise despite the cold weather? Want to bond with friends and loved ones? Do you want both? Then join us this Sunday, March 17, 2024 at 9 p.m. Chinese Standard Time and Philippine Time as INCRadio Macau Satellite Studio shows you the highlights of the District Bowling Masters and find out how the brethren in the Ecclesiastical District of Macau find ways of exercising indoors and having fun at the same time. See you there!
join us for another exciting episode as we launch our new segment, INC Kids in New Zealand in Action. In this segment, you will get to see and meet our little talented and adorable CWS in New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Clarence, and you can call me CJ.
Hi, my name is Brother Lucas Villegas.
Hi, my name is Janine. I am a choir member in the CWS in the church.
The result of Softly Children Edition winners will also be announced. Only here in INCRadio New Zealand Satellite Studio this Sunday, March 17th, 2024 at 7 p.m. New Zealand Daytime, 2 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. See you then!
And welcome back to INC Radio San Francisco. And today's topic is maintaining a healthy lifestyle, which we all can use, especially now here in the San Francisco Bay Area. The weather is changing a little bit. We've just recently had our daylight savings, so definitely getting to a warmer season and more daylight to do things. I think we can all say we look forward to daylight savings here because there's more time. It feels like there's more time to do things because of more daylight. But before we get into this topic, Sister Sophia, is there anyone out there that's sending greetings to us this morning?
Yeah, that's a great point, Auntie Jill. We actually have a lot of tips coming into the live chat. And if you have any health or fitness tips, please send them over to us as well. We have, let's see, Brother Francis Valencia, happy viewing from the local congregation of South San Jose NWC, who also wishes a happy 8th anniversary to our district of NWC. Brother Jay Reyes, happy viewing. Brother Jordan Ndike, good morning, full. Happy viewing for NWC. Brother Henry Cruz, good morning and happy viewing to all, and shout out to all our beloved brethren in the locale of Santa Rosa and also to the Paragas family in Redwood City. Speaking of Paragas, we also have Sister Catherine Paragas who says, happy Saturday, everyone. Special shout out to all the brethren in Santa Rosa and Redwood City. And actually, I think we have 2 health tips that were coming in already. I saw one from Sister Melanie Fortes. A huge health tip I have been attempting is drinking 1 gallon of water a day to stay more hydrated. And I like to add some electrolytes in it to have it from time to time to help with complete hydration. Another tip that we're getting from Brother Mike Nolasco on the treadmill, a setting that you can do. This is a fitness setting, 12 incline for 30 minutes at 3 speed. You can do it on the treadmill. It'll be safe on the knees. It sounds kind of easy because 3 speed, but the 12 incline, it will get you sweating. So
Wow.
that's another tip.
Well, thank you to those tips. So I want to start off by asking our, for us today, and then do you guys enjoy healthy? We're talking healthy eating or exercise. So, Brother Vince, what do you is there something that you enjoy about healthy eating or or doing exercises?
So I enjoy eating. That's it. But
Yes,
I also,
me too.
but but eating doesn't have to necessarily have to be not healthy, but it does have to be healthy in a sense. So yes, I do enjoy healthy eating. I am working on exercising. That is something I'm working on. Post pandemic, it's been a little bit hard, but now that we're, out a little bit more working, I used to run a lot, so I'm trying to get back into that. So that's what I'm working on right now. That's one of the habits that I'm trying to cultivate again. So that's something that I'm really working on. But as far as healthy eating, because I was cooped up a little bit, I had a lot of time to look up recipes that are a lot healthier than what I used to eat. And I also made some things that you usually make in a like just put it in the microwave and take it out. I used to do that, not anymore. I cook now. So I cook all my food. So I actually talked about this in some recent San Francisco shows where I created ramen recipes. So if you want healthy ramen recipes, I got you.
Next topic. That's right. So speaking of, creating habits, and I know we all have, we all want to eat healthy, or, and or start exercising. Sister Melissa, what hearing that we love to eat. I think we all do. If you look at, we're all like, we love to eat. What are some of your tips in creating these habits? Healthy eating is not just eating, I'm sure. and and then moving or exercising. So go ahead, Sister Melissa.
Yeah, that's a great question, Sister Jill. So, when it comes to building healthy habits, especially when it comes to exercising, to build a habit, it takes at least 3 months of consistency. For exercise, the recommendation for beginners is at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise 3 times a day for 3 months. That makes you a regular exerciser. So if you can tell yourself, okay, I'm going to walk away from the desk or get off the couch and do 30 minutes of moderate intensity movement, and that's different for everyone, right? But the best tip I have, even beyond the numbers, is truly finding something that you enjoy doing. Movement wise, right? It doesn't have to be getting into the gym. It can be going on a nice walk, enjoying the sunshine, like, we said about having more daylight here. But that's honestly one of the best tips I can give is trial and error. If something doesn't work out for you with one exercise, try something else. Try to find something that you truly enjoy doing and that you can stick with doing at least 3 times a week for 30 minutes a day.
Well, that's a great tip. I didn't realize that it takes 3 months to really get that, to be considered exercising, and then to do it on a daily basis. Now, speaking of forming habits, what are your favorite, I guess, what would be what habit do you feel strongly everyone should really try to include in their lives, if there is anyone? Like you said, everyone's different, but if there was one that you could pick, Sister Melissa.
Yes, Sister Joe. Another great question. Like you said, and we all said it, we love eating. It's a necessity. But out of all the habits, me being in the fitness industry, it's kind of obvious. So, one habit that I would recommend for everyone is exercise, is consistently exercising. Um, when it comes to exercise, a lot of people think, okay, so, I vacuumed today, I did the laundry today, I lifted this. That's not necessarily exercise. That's physical activity. And they are two different realms, right? Exercise is more structured physical activity. It's making it a focus out of your day where you're not doing any other chore. You're thinking about how you can better yourself and your physical body, your mentality, your mood. And that's truly what exercise is. So when you can achieve that 30 minutes of exercise, the benefits are numerous. Even when you've mastered healthy eating, when you get that structured movement in your day, I mean, there's so many other benefits that go along with it. Just because, my personal fitness philosophy, and I share this with all my clients at work, is exercise not solely to look a certain way, but so you can do what you love to do every single day. And I've found that this philosophy, it applies to everyone, no matter who you are, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teenager, whether you're someone who loves their job, whether you're someone who's an officer in the church and loves performing their duty. If you want to keep doing what you love, you got to make sure that you are taking care of yourself to take care of others, to take care of what you love to do. So, exercise, definitely one
That
of the habits I feel strongly about.
those are really awesome reminders. I think for all of us. I think that I want to say we've all heard it before. I'm not saying, maybe for some it might be, something refresher, but it's such a great reminder for us to and I didn't know this, that physical movement versus exercise are two different things. And that caught me by surprise, because I'm sure everyone who's listening now, they're thinking, yes, chores. If I do an hour of chores, that counts as my physical or ex exercise, as we might label it. Sister Sophia, what um what are your favorite, speaking of exercise, to get everyone sort of starting to think about, try, as Sister Melissa mentioned, try something. If it doesn't work out, try something else, right? So, Sister Sophia, what are your what you considered your exercises?
Yeah, for sure. I feel so inspired just listening to what Sister Melissa is saying already. And going back to what you mentioned too, that you have to find something that you like and that you can do consistently. Just taking walks has been huge for me. And it's funny because, you know, those who know me, they might be like, oh, you should go on a walk. Before I used to be like, maybe. But actually, yesterday and some other days, I actually kind of crave that movement, especially being in an office job. So, something really simple that I just love enjoying is taking nice walks outside. And it seems like the most simple thing to do, but it makes you feel so good afterward. And, maybe 45 minutes, an hour will have passed, and you wouldn't have even realized that, just walking can really just make such a difference. And there's also kind of exercise that I love being able to do as a group. Like if you've ever taken a group Pilates class with some of your, female friends or, guy friends too, for the brothers out there watching, like having that group fitness time to do like maybe Pilates or even like a Zumba, like some kind of structured group exercise class that can be really fun and really rewarding. And you feel so good, like all the endorphins afterward as well.
Those are great. I want to say the walking is a great starter for anybody listening out there. And if you're listening out there, what are some of your exercises that you want to share for everyone to try out? Again, it is about trying and finding something that works for you. So, Brother Vince, how about you? Do you have any exercises or some type of exercise that you've enjoyed?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I really like running. But the thing is, though, I haven't run for a while ever since pandemic. So, like, how long has that been? So, probably about 3 or 4 years now. So, it's been a while. So, my legs aren't as strong as they used to be, which means I have to do a lot of exercises that are related to my legs, maybe my glutes, maybe my hamstrings. So that way I can actually run. And I appreciate what Melissa said because it's very, very true. If you want to exercise, don't exercise to get into a certain appearance. Exercise so that way you can do the things that you love. One of the things I love is running, but I can't do that right now because my legs aren't as strong. So the only way to strengthen my legs is to do strength training leg exercises. So that's something that I'm doing recently. That's what I've been doing, just exercising regularly. Funny that you mentioned that you have to do 30, 30, 30 minutes. So like 30 minutes 3 times a day, because I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to exercise 3 times a day, so that way I can strengthen my legs every single day. And sometimes after the week has ended in my exercises, I'm like, let me test myself. Let me see how far I can run. So I would actually go. There's a track nearby, so I would try to go to the track when I can and try to see how long it takes me to run a mile. Sometimes it's not where I want it to be. Sometimes it is, but it takes time. And that's the thing that I feel everyone should realize is when you're exercising, it does take time. You can't it took you time, to learn how to walk, it took you time to learn how to run. It's the same thing. So you got to walk before you can run.
There it is. That is true true statement. Now, we're talking about exercising. I love the tips that we've shared so far, trying something different and you're really forming that habit of, trying 3 times a day, 30 minutes, and finally realizing that chores isn't exercise. That's just physical movement. And you really have to pick a form of movement or exercise that you can do for at least 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, right, Sister Melissa? Now, those are us, group exercising that really helps you to also try something different, right? When you go out with friends to work out. I think that always changes it up and helps everyone to include that, over the weekend. Sometimes over the weekend you don't want to move, but when you have, friends that are can all get together and exercise together, that counts, right, for your daily exercise routine and habit. Now, Sister Melissa, we've covered movement and exercise. Now let's jump into the eating part. We we all have to, obviously, but I'm sure there are, good ways to form a healthy, healthy eating. What can you share about that?
Yes, great question, Sister Jill. So, to be completely transparent with you, me being in the fitness industry, nutrition is out of my scope of practice. So, I only know general tips, right? One being to eat in moderation. And I know that's super general. But even beyond that, making sure you get an appropriate amount of veggies, fruit, staying away from processed foods. Water intake is a huge thing that I talk to my clients about, just staying hydrated. Make sure you're not only taking in water, but getting that good balance of like electrolytes. And especially if you're aiming to become a regular exerciser, just making sure your body's properly fueled. And if you have no idea how to stay on top of a good diet for yourself, there's always professionals out there who can help you. But even then, just keeping in mind of that general tip, everything in moderation, getting your fruits and veggies, and realizing that diet itself is a trial and error process as well too. So just being patient with yourself, and then talking to your professionals. But like I said, I'm not the best person to ask about these eating habits, but I'm sure Brother Vince has some great tips for us.
That would be correct. I do have tips. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist. These are just tips that I use because they help me. They can help you too, and I hope they do because they've helped me. They help my wife as well. So when it comes to eating, a lot of the things that people say is don't eat processed foods, eat whole foods, and it's very true. Eat whole foods, vegetables, fruit, grains, protein, all of the things. But lately, I've been seeing everyone saying eat more protein. Not necessarily the case. Don't do that. You could kill your kidneys if you do that. Don't eat too much protein. Try to make it balance as much as possible. And when it comes to processed foods, if you really have nothing else in your pantry, if you see a can of spam and that's all you see, that is okay. You can eat that. Just look at the serving size. This is something this is a big tip for everybody. When you're looking at the boxes, the nutrition label at the back, read it because it tells you the amount of servings that you need for a perfect serving that is per cup or per meal. So if you look at the back of your spam, if it says 2 slices, that's one serving. One serving is 2 slices. Don't go over that. That's how much you should eat in one sitting. Do not eat the entire can. And a way to make it healthier is, since it does have a lot of salt, aka sodium. Since it does have a lot of salt, that means you don't have to put salt in other ingredients that you're going to add to it. So if you're going to make spam musubi, don't put salt in the seaweed. Don't put salt in the rice. So that, because the spam already has salt in it. So go ahead and just add it with something else. Never subtract things, always add things to make it more nutritious. That is something that I stand by. That's something I live by. Always add, don't subtract. And when it comes to eating, eat in your serving size, the serving size that it says on the back. The companies put that there because they know that that's supposed to be the serving size for an average human being to eat. So that is something that is a tip that I would like to give for those who are trying to balance out their diet. But ultimately, um, if you're trying to eat, always continue to move as well, because the more you move, the more you digest your food as well. Food is energy. Use the energy. And that goes back to exercising, which Melissa can definitely talk about in terms
Those
of,
are great tips, Brother
yeah.
Vince. I do agree with the reading labels. I think one of the things that, especially here in the US, there's a lot of there's a lot of added things to food, processed food. And the one thing I want to add about, eating, healthy eating is is the it's one of my, so I have kids, so I bring them, to see their doctors, every year, and to really watch out what they're um eating. Is that, if as much as possible, eat everything that's in or grown, more things that are grown or naturally, that you could eat, natural things that you could eat. I remember this because she, especially with us, with Filipinos, we love the rice, and and then we love all the canned goods that go with that rice, as mentioned, the processed meat and the Vienna sausages or even bacon. And what happens is those are all quite processed. So one of the things that the pediatrician had mentioned was try to eat more of things that are grown. So that means vegetables, obviously. Everything that's grown is really healthier. How's that? Healthier. But I do like the fact that if you read what's in, some anything that's processed, if you have to have it, like that, you have to buy it processed and read the labels. I think that's such a great tip for anybody just learning about what they're putting into their body. Now, speaking of other eating habits, is there anyone out there in our live chat adding to this, to our topic this morning, Sister Sophia?
Yeah, we actually have a few that just came in about food as well. Brother Jessica Mob says lemon water every morning and also intermittent fasting. That's a very popular one. I think that's up and coming. And Sister Catherine Paraga says more fish and veggies. And also, Sister Gian Guillermo says, yes, Sister Sophia, I too love group fitness programs. It can be encouraging to see others trying to reach similar goals as you. Oh, and Sister Kristen Tison, Sister Bell says playing sports is also a great exercise. And that's also a great way that groups can really come together as well to, and first exercise and really help out in those fitness goals.
That's true. That's like giving a variety of exercise, as Sister Melissa mentioned, to change it up, to try something different. And sports activity is part of exercise that you can easily do in 30 minutes. Like basketball, if you're just shooting around, 30 minutes later, you've done your exercise. So again, really awesome tips from our listeners out there as well. And I love that the sports aspect, because many are probably into sports as well, so they definitely can use that as part of their 30 minutes 3 times a day, so to really change it up, as we have already heard and as part of our tip. So now that we've covered exercising and eating in a healthy way, I think Sister Melissa touched on this earlier, is that we're able, by giving ourselves these healthy habits of eating and exercising, we're able to do more. We're able to, of course, fulfill our responsibilities, and most especially fulfill the duties in serving our Almighty God. And I want to say, for at least for me, for families, so I'm part of the Bookload organization, which is the married members and parents of inside the church. So moving and eating healthy is not always the easiest for families, and for officers in the church who kind of run, who run from one schedule to the next. When you have kids, they have their schedule. Parents, you have your schedule. You have work schedule. So I do appreciate the tips, but for me as a family, I think um, this, when we talk about eating healthy, and just sort of um, eating in moderation, kind of having that check and balance between my family, it brings up conversation for us. We're not as a family, it helps us to understand um, good things for you, the not so good things, the unhealthy things for you. But what again, we love to eat, and when we're preparing food together as a family, that's a chance for us to talk about how can we make this healthier if we're preparing food at home. So that's the one thing that I think helps us to look at eating healthy. How can we do this together as a family? Or, when we're out and about, how can we do this together as a family? What are some of the activities that we like to do together? So those are another way that benefits, at least for my family, to create these healthy habits. Now, Brother Vince or Sister Melissa, go ahead and put in your tips and benefits that you've seen in creating these healthy eating and healthy exercise?
Yes, Sister Jill. So I'm so happy that you shared what you did. Such a great tip for the family. Right now my family just consists of me and my husband in one household. And when it comes to exercise and him knowing that I work in the fitness industry, you know, um, being each other's fitness buddy or motivational partner, it's a huge part of how we maintain our healthy habits, is checking in with each other throughout the day, like, did you get your exercise in? Or did you drink enough water today, things like that. And when Sister Sophia brought up group fitness, really having that group of people who have like-minded goals as you, as far as wanting to improve in their fitness, their overall health and well-being, that's such a big part in maintaining healthy habits. And when it comes to discovering the benefits that come with that, for me personally, it's just getting more energy as I'm going throughout the day, even when I'm feeling sluggish in the middle of the day. Just getting that extra bit of water or even that extra bit of movement, I just notice my energy levels are so much better, as opposed to not doing those healthy things, as far as getting my exercise in, or reminding myself, like, oh, you're not eating too well today, let's fix that tomorrow. Those constant reminders are just some great ways to make sure that you're keeping yourself and your loved ones in check, so that we're always looking at the bigger picture. When we feel best, that's when we can perform our best, in church, most especially. So what about you, Brother Vince?
I totally agree with your sentiment. I also have a family of two, just me and my wife, but actually I have a third member. Sorry, forgot to mention my little dog, or actually my large dog, Kenai. And she is actually the the one reason we're able to exercise so much, because obviously when you have a dog, you have to walk your dog, and boom, that's already an exercise right there. You're walking. So she is also a big motivation. We motivate each other, and we also do exercises together. When it comes to exercising, Melanie, we try to do it together as much as possible, so that way we're both motivating each other and we're both doing the exact same exercises. So it's as if we're toe to toe going in the same direction where we both want to go. And she's totally right. Melissa is totally right. When you're exercising and when you're trying to reach your goals, you can't do it alone. It's really hard to do it alone. Sometimes you need somebody there to support you, or you need a group sometimes to support you as well. And that's another thing when it comes to health, having healthy relationships with other people, that doesn't just help your physical health, it also helps your mental health as well, because you really can't do it yourself. You're not a one-man army. Don't try to do everything yourself. Um, and when it comes to eating with your family, again, with the relationships, yes, it's good to have a healthy relationship with your family when it comes to eating, but it's also good to have a really good relationship with the food that you're eating as well. If you don't like the food that you're eating because it's healthy, probably should change it up a little bit, so that way you end up liking it. For my fellow Filipinos out there, I know it's very hard because a lot of our recipes have a lot of canned foods, but you can easily swap those canned meats with real meats, with real whole meats, or with real whole vegetables, and you can still create these same recipes. When it comes to adding in your veggies, I know one amazing Filipino recipe that you can have, which is called pinagbet. There's so many veggies in that. You can eat that and you can get your veggies in through there, or you can even eat pancit. Anything that you have, you can easily change it up, and you can easily change and swap ingredients, and will still taste the same, will still taste amazing. It'll just be 10 times healthier. Recently, for an example, I made mac and cheese. Now, it doesn't sound healthy, but I switched out the cheddar cheese with cottage cheese, switched it out with cream cheese that is low fat. When you switch it up, it becomes more nutritious and more healthy. And then I even added broccoli in it to give me some veggies as well. So now it's cheese and broccoli soup all of a sudden. So these are things that you can do to make it not only taste better, but it's also nutritious for yourself. And this is good for the family too, because you can portion it out for your family, and they can still enjoy the food and still be healthy, and they still eat the things that they love at the same time. So what do you think, Sister Milsa? Do you think that's that's some good tips?
No, absolutely, Brother Vince. Like, I'm learning a lot from you too, bro. So I really appreciate all the tips. And like, one more tip I want to add on top of that, because what you said was excellent for nutrition. When it comes to exercise, smart goals, being specific, measurable, making sure your goals are attainable, realistic, timely. Those are some things, if you have no idea what your goals are when it comes to fitness and you're just I just want to be overall healthy and, and do what I need to do on the everyday basis, sit yourself down for a moment, write down those SMART goals. And so you actually have a physical thing that you can work towards, right? When it comes to gaining that movement. And then, even then, starting off with what we talked about today, that great tip of get at least 30 minutes of something where I can just focus on moving, right? So, SMART goals is a really important thing when it comes to, maintaining those healthy fitness habits or even getting them started. But yeah, I think everything that we've talked about, nutrition wise, fitness wise, these are all great tips for helping us maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Thank you so much for sharing. And to our listeners and viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have learned something, go ahead and use it today. Try after this show, go ahead and exercise if you have the time. Go ahead and exercise. If you're just sitting here along with us, tuning into the show after the show, go ahead and stand up. Go ahead and go for a walk. Maybe walk your dog if you have a dog. Do some jumping jacks. Do something. I hope it inspired you to do some exercise today. I would also like to thank our executive producer, Brother Manly Andaya, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, our multimedia advisor, Brother Andrew Paragas, our CFO overseer, Brother Royal David, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Manuel Del Rosario, our District Minister, Brother Jojo Bayani, our SEPC CEO and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Manolo, and our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manolo. Thank you so much for allowing us to tune in on this platform, to allow us to talk about this topic, because it is so important to everyone who is listening. I hope all of you reach your exercise goals, and hope you also have time to tune into INC Radio Texas as well. Brother Justin, thank you so much for allowing us to go over time as well.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you
Texas.
so much. But
Texas.
thank you so much to all our viewers once again. Hope to see you next time, and hopefully you have reached your exercise goals as well.
Yay. Thank you, everybody. 30
Thank
minutes.
you.
30 minutes in moderation.